guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Adventure SG. So let's do another interesting word problem on percentage. Let's read the question first. There were 180 people in a movie hall. 30% of them were men and rest were women. So part A of the question is, how many more women than men were there? And part B is, during the interval, some women came to join in the movie. There were then 3 times as many women as men. How many women came to join the concert? Now, what we have here is that there were 180 people in the movie hall, and out of those 180 people, 30% of them were men. That means remaining were women, obviously, right? So let's start solving it. So what we are given here is that men were 30%, right? And then how about the women? Obviously women will be 100% minus 30%, right? And that will give us how much? It will give us 70%, right? That means in the movie hall 30% were men and 70% were women, right? Now if we want to write it in terms of ratio, right, how can we write it? So men is to women, what will be the ratio? So it will be, as it's given here, it's 30 is to 70, right? So if you simplify, it will become 3 is to 7, right? Just divide both the side by 10, you will get 3 is to 7. So that's the ratio. And if you want to show it in a form of model, right, in the form of model, how we can do it? So let's say men's, there are how many units, right? How many, what there are 3 unit of men, right? So we can show it quickly like this one, right? So 1, 2 and 3 unit of men. Then how many units of women are there? There are 7, right? So women, so similarly let's draw it quickly for the women. So they will be 7, right? I hope this will be enough to show 7 units, right? Let's check. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, roughly, yes. Okay, so 1 unit, 2 unit, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, right? So there are 3 unit of men and 7 unit of women, and all this together is how many? Is 180. Since there were 180 people in the movie hall, right? So we can say this is 180, right? And this 180 is equal to how many units? You can see from here, right? 3 plus 7, 10, right? 3 unit plus 7 unit, it's 10. So from here we can say 3 unit plus 7 unit will give us 10 units, and this 10 units is equal to how much? It's 180. So 1 unit will be 180 divided by 10, right? So that will give us 18, right? So 1 unit is 18. Now let's read part A first, right? How many more women than men were there? See, there are many ways to find it. Since now we have how much is 1 unit, so you can of course find the number of men, that is 3 unit, and then the number of women, which is 7 unit, and then subtract one from the another. But the easier way would be just look here, that the number of men are 3 unit, the number of women are 7 unit. So what's the difference in terms of units? So you can clearly see here it's 4 units, right? Women are 4 more unit as compared to the men, right? So it is 4 units, right? You can also get it by subtracting 3 unit from 7 unit. It will still give you 4 units, right? So there are 4 unit of more women than men in the cinema hall, right? In the movie hall. So from here we can calculate how much will be 4 unit. So it will be simply 4 times 18, right? And that will give us, I think, 72, right? So there were 72 more women than men in the hall. Now that's our part A. Okay, that's our part A. Now how about part B? Now during the interval, some women came to join in the movie. I don't know why they came to join in the middle, right? But let's say they joined, okay? And then what happened? There were 3 times as many women as men. How many women came to join the, oh, I think it should be movie, right? So let's say how many. So basically the question is, in the interval, right, during the interval, some more women came to join the movie, and because of this the number of women increases and they become 3 times as many as men, right? So we have to find out later how many that means during the interval how many more women came to join the movie, right? So how do we find it, right? How do we find it? So let's see that how many women were there at first. So we can write it like this: women at first in terms of units were how many? There were 7 units, right? There were 7 units of women at first. Now how about at the end? Means after the women who have joined in the interval, what is the number of unit of women then? See, it is 3 times as many as the men. And how many units of men were there at first? 3 units, right? So the number of women in terms of units, right? Women's at end, right? That means after the women have joined, some of women have joined in the interval, the number of women became 3 times as the number of men. And what is the number of men? 3 units, right? The women become 3 times the number of men. So men here is 3 unit. So that means here we should put 3 unit, and that will give us 9 unit. That means later the number of women became 9 unit, right? So since we have to find out how many more women joined, right? So earlier they were 7 unit and later they become 9 unit. So the number of women who joined, how do we find? So the number of women joined later will be how many? It's obvious. Later they were 9 units and earlier they were 7 unit, right? So 9 unit minus 7 unit will give us 2 unit. That means 2 unit of women joined in later, and we know 1 unit is 18, so 2 units will be 2 times 18, so that will give us 36, right? That means during the interval 36 women joined in the movie, right? So that's our part B. Okay, so let's write our answer quickly. So part A is earlier there were 72 more women than men, and part B is during the interval 36 more women joined the movie. So that's the solution of this question. Hope you liked it. Keep watching and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.